Hey, how's everyone doing today? This is Marcus Thomas, Yellow Nation Motivation. There were some things that I was reading yesterday. Once again, it was something from T.D. Jakes and some other people. So it was really awesome. And they were talking about time and don't waste it. And, this was some of what I thought of it. And I thought, it might help someone. So, here we go. I'll read it to you, and hopefully you can get something out of it. I think you will. So the topic pretty much is don't waste time, because we all know that nothing lasts forever. So in essence, time really can be our friend, you see. Because if you're like in pain or you're going through something or you're struggling to push through things, it's like that hurt has a deadline, in essence. So that's not too bad, See, now it's up to you to set the date, though, with that. Like, it will have a deadline no matter what, because everything comes to an end, but it's up to you to set the deadline. It's up to you to decide, I'm going to work hard and, and push through this. I'm not going to sit here in this. So, so if you don't redirect, you will definitely regret it. You'll regret it later, because even though the pain stopped, you might not have the outcome you would have had if you would have kind of worked harder towards it. So see, we all have to change the way that we think. See life and how it operates a lot of the time isn't gonna be the way that we assume or that we plan for. So I was like, we really have to just start adjusting ourselves to that. See, the reason why is because we get stuck between the lines of other people limited thinking and beliefs and goals, and their perception of what is possible. And I think that's a really dangerous thing, because if there's a voice inside you yelling at you, what are you waiting for? Like, you waiting for the approval of other people? Well, while you waiting, time is just slowly just passing you by. So you need to look back at things that looked impossible, or that would held you back, or that you felt like you failed at before in life, and you need to maybe reattack that thing again. And you need to like talk change into it. You got to say, let there be change. This time it's going to be different, because I'm coming with a fresh perspective, different tools this time, a better understanding of it. So, it may have kind of whooped me last time, but you ain't getting me this time. I prepared for you this time, So, but the thing is, see, me and many other people I'm sure out there, we try things for a while, and when it don't work, we just give up and we move on to the next thing. But what I'm starting to understand is, how can you be a full-time leader with a part-time test? Like, that doesn't work. So it's like, see, when it don't work, I know a lot of people will walk away. They, instead of just adjusting our attack and to keep moving toward our goal, so we just move on feeling like, well, that didn't work, so I'm going to just move on to something else. And then for the next 10 to 15 years, we just jump from one thing to the next. And so, see, we have to stop sometimes in our tracks and say, I got this. I won't be broken. And I can make through this. See, we got to be tough. We're going to have to be tough to deal with the pressure and of what change and progress brings. Now, it's like that old saying, what is it? New levels bring new devils, So it takes strength, to stay encouraged, even though everything is telling you this isn't working for you, that you're too old, or time is going by, you're wasting too much time, and the world around you will tell you that, it will imply what you're doing is useless, and you're wasting too much time. All that fluctuating from bliss to worry, that can't be good on the mind or the body or the soul. So I think we have to be able to take these moments and use them to adjust our lives. See, we don't have to feel so defeated. We have great potential and talent inside of us, but it's buried under layers of disappointment. I think insecurity, low self-esteem, and so on. So see, you haven't had your best day yet. You haven't fought your best fight yet. See, all we can do really is take it one day at a time. So you haven't reached your fullest potential yet. It's coming, but you have to keep grinding. So I believe now more than ever is the time to chase our dreams. You see, a dream is just a mental blueprint that now must be constructed by you. So see, we are all miracles, just looking for a place to happen. I do believe that we are all miracles. We just looking for the right situation to burst out and show the world. See, the stage is set, so don't let anyone hold you back. This world needs your greatness. See, if you woke up today, then that means that the best is yet to come. That if it was not true, then why did God wake you up? Why would he wake something useless up? He would have just let you go in your sleep. See, the biggest and the longest fight that I feel like me and anyone else is ever going to have in life is our mind, that battlefield on our mind. So what will you choose to do with the time you have left? I don't care how much time you feel like you've wasted. What will you do with what is left? See, it's important to attack while you're young if you can, while your optimism is high, before the strain of life gets to you and you get old, and if you even get to be old at all, so it's like, because see, as a teenager, I know for me, and I'm sure for plenty of other people, it was like, we knew it all, see, but when you go to like actually attack what you feel like you knew it all, and you're like, I'm about to go on and get this, it's like, okay, this isn't as easy as I thought in my mind. It's not as easy as it looked, even though I considered it to be. It ain't, or as life starts to shut you down, or you start to run into disappointment that you weren't running into in your youth, but you're an adult now and things are different. So see, everyone, if we live long enough, we'll get to a point like where we just like, look, if just one more thing happens, I'm gonna snap. And sometimes in that essence, I feel like technology is a burden at times, because it's like, it's always ways for people to reach me, and sometimes you don't want to be reached. So you like, look, if one more person, if one more message, one more person send me something, I'm gonna explode. So I think sometimes you gotta learn how to shut that down too. I think we become too dependent on technology. Like, put your phone down sometimes. Do you cut it off? I wonder how many people out there ever really cut their phone off and like get away from it for a second, because sometimes all that influence, good or bad, a lot of the time it be too much. We depend too much on it. I feel like, and that's the other thing, is that I doubt that there's anyone that's hearing this right now that's not going through some sort of battle, that's not fighting something, or feeling, or at least just a little bit overwhelmed with life right now, but rather it be people or your issues or the demands of life or the responsibilities of your job, whatever it might be, sometimes it's just simply too much, and I have learned that I have to ask myself, what is it in me that I can't see because my troubles blind me? Like, what skill do you have under that pain that you have not, nourished? That you let this little problem or this little thing stress you out and whoop you, knowing that you're too strong for that. And it's like, if you're not careful, little problems can become a lifetime handicap for you. So do you know how many people die and never really knowing what they had or what they got or how awesome they really are? It's because how's the awesome saying go? If I don't know who I am, then I don't know what I'm capable of, and anybody can set a template of what I am, and I'll subscribe to it, and then now the world has a sort of a general consensus of how to treat me, and you will accept it, indirectly, without subconsciously, without even knowing it, you will accept it. And then now somebody has attached a title to you that don't even fit, See, but if you don't know who you are, people can attach anything to you, and with time, you will start marching to that beat, and so I think that then that changes depending on who you're around. So it's like as time go on, you done became 6 or 7 different people. So who really are you? You are who you are depending on who's in your life at the moment. Instead of you just being consistently you. So what happens when they leave your life? You're right back at the starting point again of who am I? So I think you may not like what was going on in your life. It may be stressed. You may be uncomfortable, but you got what it takes. Life may not be fair, and it may not be what we want. And our best laid plans a lot of time can turn into our worst nightmare. That's why they say you gotta watch what you wish for. But I think we can't do it. Or the other thing that I know that I started running into a lot, and I had to defend myself against, is being around mediocre people with mediocre ambitions. They think so small that you thinking big seems foreign to them, and then it seems almost impossible to you because you like, man, well, maybe my goals are too high because look at everyone around me looking at me like I'm crazy when I discuss what I want in my life. But you got to defend it. You got to defend your dreams. I learned that too, because you got to remember, if you survive the storm, this moment shall pass too. But will your resilience grow in this storm? So that you can last through the next storm? See, you can tell what you are built for, or you can tell the great purpose you have on your life by the burdens that's laid at your feet. It's like I'm able to endure sometimes. I surprise myself. See, I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I'll shock myself. It ain't just my enemies. It ain't my enemies. It ain't just like, this or that. It's like, man, sometimes with my abilities and the blessings that I get and the ability to be able to just deal with this so much pressure so easily, I shock myself sometimes, with how awesome it is to be able to endure that, So it's like, sometimes, how many times have you had someone that said, that's it for you? Like, you're done. Like, it just looked like there was nothing that could be done for you or your situation or this problem. But then enough time passed, and here you are, They told you that you couldn't make it. Maybe health-wise, they told you this illness was going to take you out, but here we are, So I think we need at times all hell to break loose, because now here comes a measurement of what you are built of. See and you got to see what you got. How do you know what you got if you never tested? So see, how do you know what you can take if there's no pressure ever applied? See, the true test is when people betray you, or they belittle you, or they or they try to, play you in any way possible, and then you still have the maturity and the courage to move on, See, you don't learn what you got by always taking the same problems with you to every different situation. You have to learn to start letting some of that stuff and go and move on. And remember, so then when problems and other things attack you, you have a resume to kind of look back on and say, okay, but I've been through some stuff before. So I can look at my resume and say, well, this ain't going to take me out because I've been through et cetera, before, So I think you have to develop a resume because it will start to kill off your weaknesses. You won't even consider a lot of it sometimes. So see, your fear begins to leave. See, you can give up at times. You could take your little awesome talents and let other people reap all the benefits, but you got what it takes. You see, because they may be reaping the benefits of it, but it all came from you. You are the source. So when you give up things and you feel like, man, I gave my all to this person and they still played me, and you feeling bad about maybe money you might have wasted or time, or most valuably, you probably wasted, don't worry about all of that loss because it came from you. You are the source. So if you gave it to them, you can give it back to yourself again and again.